Hey again guys, it's another video. I'm making 2 this week. How lucky are you? It's because I feel bad because I didn't make 1 last week because I was really busy. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm back again with part 2 of my ghost videos because I felt like you need 2 this week. Plus it kind of leaves suspension a bit, but not too much. I'm babbling, I'm sorry. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about my school first because I experienced quite a lot in my school because my school's based kind of like, it was built in the Victorian times. Anyway, there's quite a lot of stories going around my school, and some of them that I can say that are true, and some of them that I say aren't. But my school has a lot of different sections, basically. I'll talk about, like, what shall I talk about first? I guess the most frequent that I had experienced a lot in was the maths department, which some people, 3 people know about. I don't think any of them watch my videos though, but three of them people that I talk to know about this, and yeah. So our school had a lot of building work done, and ghosts get very, let's call it, excited around this time because you're disrupting where they are resting, basically, or where they are taking peace, and so they get a bit excited and they start to like messing with things, and they also like electrical things sometimes. Not everything. They get a lot from electromagnetic fields, so they tend to get most of their energy from there. Sorry, I'm closing something. But in the maths department we had, so if you imagine it, say there's like seats here and seats here and seats here and seats here. I sit here, okay, and the board's like here. So I sit here and with somebody else in my school, and we were just sat there, and nobody else that I know can see ghosts. And one of my friends that was sat behind me was like, "Oh, Alex, you know how you see ghosts and everything?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Is there anything in this room?" And I was like, actually, yeah, there is." She was like, "Oh, tell me about it." And I was like, "Well, there's this figure. I can't see its features properly. It looks like, how I'd call it is a shadow. It looks like a shadow, and it would walk around, like, so we've got desks along here, desks along here, desks here, and desks here, and I sit on this row, right? So it would walk from this row down the back, down this row, back to in front of the smartboard, would walk back and around up to mine, walk up a bit more, go round, and it would do that a couple of times. But every time it ended, it would sit in front of the board like this, and I was like, that's a bit weird, but okay. But it would check your work, like it would look and like a teacher would bend over your work and look at it, and then it would go back. So that was pretty weird. One thing that has happened to me, because I know that I don't know how many of you watching this will know, but a lot of ghosts, oh, look at that. A lot of ghosts cling on to you. Like if you have a light around you basically, and they can cling on to you if they want to. And a lot of the ghosts that have clung on to me, or maybe not clung on to me, but they know that I can see them, they wait for me at school. So we have the gates, and then we have our 6th form block, and then we've got this little kind of seating area. And I walked into school one day and I thought, well, that's a bit odd because you've got to wear school uniform, so why isn't that person wearing school uniform? And there was basically this guy in a hoodie. Firstly I should say I go to an all-girl school as well, so it's a bit weird to, well, I mean, some boys do come to our school for like lessons and stuff, so it's not that weird, but they'd be in their uniform, and this guy was sat there with a hoodie on, in jeans, and he was just sat there, and he looked at me, and I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. But then I started walking, and I looked back, and like, he was nowhere to be seen, and I was like, okay, unless he sprinted the entire way, I would have seen him up the steps at least. So I thought it was a bit weird, and I was like, okay. But it was just weird how he disappeared as soon as I walked in, and it was like, okay, well, he might be just one of those spirits that's following me. I have a few. Plus, there's a lot of rumours going around the school about this ghost, George. We call it George. Most ghosts seem to be called George nowadays. But there's a drama department, and basically that used to be the old stables a long time ago, and George died in the fire when he was trying to save the horses from the fire, but he died, sadly. And basically, there was a lot of rumours going around this, and most people probably couldn't say whether they're true or not. I mean, I don't mind if you disagree with me, because you can say whatever you want. I really don't mind. I'm used to people saying, but can't this happen? I was like, yeah, I don't mind if you're a skeptic. But basically we're all sat in the drama studio, and the teacher wasn't there. And there's like this door that leads through to DT. And the door opened, and we were like, oh, spooky, it must be George. But what most people didn't see was that there was a shadow walking across the drama department. Which, I mean, people ask me a lot, do I get scared? Not really, not anymore. I'm used to it. I see them everywhere. I mean, my cats, I've lost 4 of them. They still walk around my house. I'm totally used to it. I've had so many things happen to me. They've started talking to me. Not the cats, the ghosts. But lots of things have happened like that. I mean, I see, like, ghosts on the side of the road, and walking down the side of the road, and when they've been killed or something like that, and I'm pretty used to it. I think the weirdest one that we had was, if you live in the UK, if you live anywhere near Liverpool, you might have heard of Shiverpool, which is basically a ghost tour around Liverpool. But our English teacher took us. Bad English there, Alex. And we were walking around, obviously, and basically it wasn't that scary, to be honest. I mean, I don't get scared anyway, but it wasn't scary. There was a part where everyone was like cuddling together, and I was like, oh, I should probably pretend to be scared. So I did. We were in this graveyard when it happened, when he was trying to scare us. And I was walking down, and like there's a cemetery. There's not going to be a river in the middle of a cemetery, but there was this river flowing through, and I was like, that's a bit weird. But there was an actual, like, it's not real, because like we looked at it, I looked at the pictures of it in the morning, and there was no river there, but there was a body floating in that river, and I was dead sure about it. Like, you can't hide that from me. I saw that. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I can't think of any other stories. Oh no, I have. Me and one of my friends, if she's watching this video, I don't know whether she remembers it or not, but we were in the library at my school, and we were at, because we have computers in the library, but we were the only 2 people in there. Not even the librarian wasn't even there. That's how silent it was. So it's just us, and we were doing our work, so it was like deadly silent, and all of a sudden you just heard typing on a keyboard, and I was like, you heard that, didn't you? And she was like, yeah. And she doesn't really like ghosts, to be honest. She doesn't listen to my stories because they kind of freak her out. But I said, can we kind of get out of here? And she was like, yeah, sure. But the thing was, is that I got this really bad vibe. Like, I had the worst vibe in the world in there. It was really freaky. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you with these anymore. Since I can't think of any more anyway. But anyway, peace, love, and hugs. Go hug someone today, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.